Conventional wisdom that gave Iowa to Senator Clinton and New Hampshire to Senator Obama told us Iraq would dominate this election. It could yet become such. But for now, conventional wisdom, meet Michigan, where the economy is doing so poorly that some residents refer to their state as Mississippi. In our third story tonight, with apologies to 1992, it's the stupid economy, especially in a state with unemployment consistently above 7%, where home foreclosure rates rival Louisiana's, where the auto industry has shed 330,000 jobs since 2000, not including GM's 200 layoffs yesterday, all of which, along with the nation's mortgage crisis, sinking stocks, unemployment, etc., pushing Iraq off the front pages, as American deaths there have declined and Republicans edge back towards mission accomplished. Secretary of State Rice today applauding virtually the only benchmark Iraq has met, a new law allowing lower-level Ba'ath party members back into the government there, which at best undoes only some of the damage done by Mr. Bush's precipitate purge of all Ba'athists back in 2003. Republicans, largely in line on Iraq, instead are battling fiercely over how to avoid or recover from recession. Senator McCain promising to cut government spending, which does nothing to spur consumer spending necessarily, but still warning that most of Michigan's auto manufacturing jobs will never return. Mitt Romney vowing to bring them back somehow, despite his support for free trade and employer-subsidized health care, which costs GM alone $5 billion a year. And Governor Huckabee bet on swapping the income tax for a flat sales tax, estimated to mean a tax increase for everyone making between $30,000 and $200,000 a year. A pleasure to be joined here now by NBC's chief White House correspondent, David Gregory, who's going to share his insights on the issue of the shifting issues in this campaign. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Keith.
All right, so why has it happened? Why has the economy replaced Iraq as #1 on both sides of the fence?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that this housing crisis, the credit crunch, is really hitting people. And it's hitting people at all levels. And a lot of economists think it could, move on to other areas, auto finance, auto loans. And it's a classic pocketbook issue that is hitting people who cannot make their mortgages, or if they have an adjustable rate mortgage, they have to face this at the same time that we're losing jobs in places like Michigan and other pockets around the country. Michigan primary happens. This is the highest rate of unemployment in the country. That's why they wanted to move the primary up in Michigan in the first place. So I think it is really an issue that has come home to roost. Iraq as an issue has been taken slightly off the table because the debate about what to do next has stalled, sort of waiting for a new president. The economy moves right in.
In many places, when you hear Democrats and Republicans talk about the economy, it's really at least two different things they're talking about. The Republicans may be talking about the stock market and investments. The Democrats may be talking about the price of milk. This is not the case in Michigan. They're all talking price of milk there, correct?
That's it. And it's very focused on one sector, the auto workers who are out of work. And the big question about, are these jobs coming back? Is there an environment there that's conducive for business investment? This is globalization sort of running up against the union interests in the state, and so it is a kind of political battleground. But you're right, nobody's got a real immediate answer as to how to stimulate the economy that's going to make it better for these workers. Mitt Romney's talking about a summit in his first 100 days on the auto industry. John McCain saying that the jobs are not coming back. Ultimately, the White House will play a big role here. Henry Paulson, the Treasury Secretary, saying, we don't have a lot of time to do something. It's not just about extending the tax cuts in 2010 and making them permanent. What are you going to do for the economy now? And George W. Bush, as he becomes less and less relevant, still has a role to play with regard to helping the Republican Party try to get out of the economic doldrums.
What does the economic issue do in terms of playing a role in this debate that we're going to see in 20 minutes from now? I mean, John Edwards, even before his stimulus plan, had made economic issues and the position of the middle class and all of that the centerpiece of his campaign. Where does he go with it tonight? How does it shake up the Democratic race if it can still at this point?
Well, I think he says just that. I've had a consistent message, an economic populist message that recognizes that people are paying a lot more for college, they're paying a lot more for health care, that they're out of a job, that the idea of retraining has not really taken hold yet to help people transition into a new job, and that's been a singular focus. Remember, that's what Bill Clinton talked about in '92. He would have that laser-like focus. So I think putting it as a front burner issue, the rest of it becomes very wonky, which is what do you actually do to stimulate the economy in the short term when this housing crisis, a lot of people believe, is not even close to being over yet. It really is going to trap a lot of people.
All right, let's say the projections run out in a straight line from where we are now towards the election. Does it favor the Democrats over the Republicans? Is there a way to tell? I mean, obviously, if we could say now everything's going to be the same till November, CNBC could sign off until November. But right. What are we seeing based on what we're seeing now?
Well, I just think it's direction of the country, whether people feel the economy is going to get better, a confidence level in leadership. I think that plays to the Democrats' strength as a genuine a general change argument. I mean, that was what the election turned on in 1992.
Sure
We've seen so much of this momentum already because of the war and the general direction of the country. I think an economy that continues to spiral downward makes it very difficult for the Republicans.
David Gregory was here not just for the 1997-98 MSNBC Big Show reunion.
That's right.
He'll also be back with us when we begin our analysis of the debate and the Republican primary in Michigan at 11 Eastern. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith.
Speaking of Michigan.